first thing to understand is what the triangles mean. And they are just a Greek symbol that is called delta, that means change. So it's asking for change in S over change in T. It's just another way of asking for average rate of change or slope. Since all we're really doing is finding slope, I'm going to make two ordered pairs. Right, and the first terms of each are these t's that are given. So the t for time is essentially like your x coordinates, your independent variables. First one is 3, and the second one is 4. How do I get the s values? Just the same as you would in a regular function. We're going to substitute the t value into the function to get the s value. That would give you your ordered pair that you need. So what is s of 3? Just 4 times 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, which is 36. I'm going to get the other s value just the same by substituting 4 in. So it's 4 times 4 squared, 4 times 16, which ends up being 64. So now when I want to find the ball's average velocity between the 3rd second and the 4th second, I'm just going to use the slope formula. Because again, all that is slope. So it's 64 minus 36 over 4 minus 3. You end up with 28 over 1, which is just 28. So the answer to this is 28. Let's check that, make sure we're good. Okay. Now we're going to erase just part of this because it's going to be asking us for now the average velocity between 3 seconds and 3.5 seconds. We've already did the work for 3, so I don't need to redo that. So let's just erase part of this. All right, because again, we're just still doing the 3rd second. Now the other s value, the other t value is 3.5. So what is s of 3.5? That should equal to, again, just substituting 3.5 into the function, evaluating the function for 3.5. So it's 4 times 3.5 squared. I'm not going to do that in my head. So I'm going to pull up the calculator. And I'm just going to figure out what is that equal to. So 4 times 3.5 squared. And I get 49. So it ends up being 49. So it's 49 minus 36 over 3.5 minus 3. So you end up with 13 over 0.5, which ends up equaling 26. All right, so your answer here is 26. We're going to do the exact same thing now for 3.01 instead of 3.5. All right, so what is 3.01? What is S of 3.01? Equal to 4 times 3.1 squared. So I'm going to calculate it on my calculator. So what is 4 times 3.01? And you get 36.2404. So you're going to end up with 0.2404 divided by 0.01. So that's going to end up being, moving the decimals 2 over, so 24.04. So let's check that. That's good. Then we're just going to repeat the same thing again for 3.001. So what is S of 3/1000th? And we'll just type that in the calculator and what we get. 36.024004. And 3.001 down here. So you end up with 0.024004 over 0.001. So what will end up happening is the decimal moves 3 places, and you have 24.004. Okay, so then we're going to type that in. Check our answer, and we're good. What you should notice about this is as the interval got closer and closer to being just 3, the rate was getting closer and closer to 24. Like it was going to flatten out there. So the further you went out with the decimal there, if we had a step E where it was 3.0001, it would have just gotten closer and closer to 24. Okay, let me know if you have other questions.